Welcome to The Explainer. We're all about breaking down incredible stories to get to what really makes them tick. All right, let's jump right into this one. It's a classic tale. Friendship, prophecy, betrayal, all set in historic Istanbul. And the whole thing really boils down to this one wild question. Can a prophecy that's meant to save a life actually be the very thing that ends it? So our story gets started with two men, and they couldn't be more different, really. You've got this humble seer, a guy with some seriously deep knowledge, and then you have the most powerful vizier in the entire empire.
So on one side, you have Khwaja Yusuf. This guy is incredibly wise, but he's totally happy with a simple life. He has his amazing gifts, right? But he never uses them to get rich or powerful. And then on the other side, you have Ibrahim Pasha. He's the Sultan's right-hand man, just swimming in power, but he's always hungry for more. More knowledge, more influence, you get the picture.
So Ibrahim Pasha hears about this seer, Yusuf, and he's like, okay, bring him to me. He summons him to the palace. But Yusuf, he says no. He tells the most powerful man in the empire, if you want to see me, you come to my house. And you know what? Instead of getting offended, Ibrahim is fascinated. He actually goes. And that one move, that bit of humility, is what kicks off this incredible friendship. The vizier basically becomes the seer's student.
Okay, so this is where things get really interesting. Because the very knowledge that Ibrahim was so hungry to learn from his new friend, well, that's what ends up planting the seeds for his own destruction. And, tragically, for his friend's death too.
So Ibrahim starts using the skills he learned from Yusuf, and he decides to check out his friend's future. And what he sees is, well, it's terrifying. He sees this 40-day window of just extreme danger. He rushes to Yusuf and warns him, look, for the next 40 days, you cannot leave your house, not for a second. If you do, your life is on the line.
And for 39 days, Yusuf does exactly that. He stays inside, totally safe. But on the morning of that 40th and final day, he thinks the danger's past. He's so eager to see his friend again that he leaves home, completely forgetting that the warning was good until sunset. On his way, he takes a shortcut through the woods, and that's when he stumbles on something incredible. A ruined old building. And inside, 7 locked chests, just packed with treasure.
Yusuf is ecstatic. He runs to tell Ibrahim and brings him to the cellar to show him what he found. But when Ibrahim Pasha lays his eyes on all that gold, all those jewels, something just snaps. All those years of friendship, gone. In an instant, all that's left is this blinding, overwhelming greed. And he thinks to himself, this treasure's secret must die with him. And just like that, the prophecy came true. Think about it. The great danger wasn't some random attacker in the woods. It wasn't an accident. No, it was the very person who gave the warning in the first place. In that dark cellar, surrounded by treasure, Ibrahim murdered his friend Yusuf. He buried him and his horse right there on the spot and took all the treasure for himself.
All right, let's fast forward a few years, because that dark secret didn't stay buried forever. It's about to be uncovered by the next generation, by a son who never even got the chance to meet his father.
So not long after Yusuf was killed, his wife gave birth to their son, Ali. And this kid, he was something else. Incredibly smart, just leagues ahead of all the other kids. Then, when he's just 10 years old, he stumbles upon this old, dusty book that belonged to his grandfather. And finding that book, well, it changes absolutely everything.
Yeah, this wasn't just any old book. This was the Book of Al-Najum, a text filled with secret knowledge about the past, present, and future. And as little Ali starts to figure out how to read it, the horrifying truth about his father's murder is laid bare. I mean, can you imagine? The story says he cried at first, just overcome with grief. But then he started to laugh, because he realized that the same book that told him how his father died also gave him the power to get revenge.
And this part just shows you how brilliant this kid was. He doesn't just rush off to confront the vizier. No, he's smarter than that. First, this 10-year-old boy uses the book's secrets to make sure his family is taken care of. He goes after these corrupt local merchants, a weaver who stole wheat, a butcher who got away with murder, a goldsmith who robbed 2 widows. He blackmails them one by one into giving his family supplies every single day. He's playing the long game.
So now the stage is set. Ali has his plan. And the thing that finally brings everything to a head is, well, it's something nobody could have predicted. It's a dream. A dream that the Sultan had, and now he can't remember what it was.
This is just an impossible situation. Sultan Murad calls in his whole court and says, I had a dream.
I want you to tell me what it was and what it means. He gives them 40 days. If they fail, they'll all be executed. The entire court is in a full-blown panic, but you can bet nobody is more terrified than the Grand Vizier, Ibrahim Pasha.
So Ibrahim tries everything he can think of, and it all fails, just miserably. He is cornered, totally facing execution. And in this moment of pure desperation, a memory clicks. He remembers hearing about this brilliant boy Ali. And here's the ultimate irony. He realizes the only person on earth who might be able to save his life is the son of the man he murdered. He goes to Ali, begs for help, and Ali agrees, but on one absolutely shocking condition.
Ali's price isn't money or power. It's public humiliation. He tells Ibrahim, "You will carry me to the Sultan's palace on your back." And Ibrahim, with no other choice, agrees. So they go through the streets of Istanbul, the most powerful vizier in the land, crawling on his hands and knees with a boy on his back. And as they go, Ali shouts to the crowds, "People of Istanbul, today I have captured my father's killer." He's not just getting a ride, he's starting his revenge right there in the open.
So they arrive at the court. Everyone is staring. And Ali, this young boy, doesn't just solve the mystery of the Sultan's dream. Oh no. He uses it to expose a murder that's been a secret for more than 10 years, right in front of the entire court.
First, Ali turns to the Sultan and says, "You dreamed of a great bird from the east, which gave you 7 grapes, but then a snake came from the west and stole them." The Sultan is just floored. That's exactly what he dreamed. And then Ali breaks it down. "The wise bird from the east, that was my father, Khwaja Yusuf. The 7 grapes, those were the 7 chests of treasure. And the snake from the west, the treacherous friend, that was Ibrahim Pasha, right here."
The Sultan immediately sends his men to search Ibrahim's palace, and sure enough, they find it all. They find the 7 chests of treasure hidden away. They go to the spot Ali described, and they start digging. And they unearth the bones of his father, Yusuf. With the evidence piled up against him, there's nowhere to run. Ibrahim Pasha confesses to everything.
And so for the murder of his friend, for theft, and for treason against the Sultan, Ibrahim Pasha is executed. After all those years, justice is finally served. The son's vow for revenge is fulfilled. The Sultan is completely blown away by Ali's wisdom and brilliance. He basically offers him the world and even makes him the new Grand Vizier. But Ali's first request, it shows you exactly who he is. He doesn't ask for a palace or for gold. He asks for something for the loyal slave Mustafa, who had helped him. He asks that Mustafa be allowed to marry Ibrahim Pasha's daughter. It was all about justice and loyalty for him, not about personal gain.
So in the end, Ali gets his revenge. He brings a murderer to justice and rights a terrible wrong. But it all comes back to that question we started with, doesn't it? A prophecy that was supposed to save a life became the very thing that ended it, all because of greed. And even though justice was served, it really makes you think, can revenge, can even justice, ever truly fix what was broken by such a deep and terrible betrayal?